students. So in the concept, projection is nothing but the activity of developing the image of the object on a plane, in a flat plane. So this is nothing but the activity of projection. In our engineering graphics concern, in our imagination, we are going to first project the object and then we are obtaining the particular view of the object in a flat surface. That obtained view is going to be drawn in the paper. We are going, whatever may be the dimension of the object, whether it is three-dimensional object or two-dimensional object, even it is a single dimensional object, we are going to project the object first and obtain its view in a flat surface or in a flat plane, like vertical plane or horizontal plane, whatever it may be. After that, we are going to draw that obtained view in the paper. Okay. For that, we are having some geometrical formalities also. First, we have to be very clear on the term projections. Maybe this term is very much familiar to you in for various other purposes you use that term projection. But here we are using it in developing the image of the object. First of all, projections, what are the various categories here? Projection system or simply system of projections. This is nothing but the bunch of activities involving developing the image of the object. So based on our requirement, we can follow any one category of system of projection. Much things are available here. Perspective, oblique, and orthographic. These three basic categories are given based on the nature of projector lines. So based on the nature of projector lines, the system of projection is divided into three categories. The first one is perspective, the next one is oblique, and finally orthography. In the case of perspective projection, further we may have few types. And in the case of oblique projection also, we are having three more types. And in the case of orthographic projection, which is mainly dealt by us, having two important categories, axonometric projection and first angle and third angle projections. First angle and third angle projections. The axonometric projection further classified into isometric, dimetric, and trimetric. So, what is the classification? How these are all classified based on the parallel projectors, or what is the mean by projectors? See, if you want to develop the image of an object in a flat surface, is just like that providing or producing a shadow of the object in the flat surface. For example, if you want to have the shadow of me in this whiteboard, what you need to do? You have to project a light just in front of me, and I should stand between the light source and this board. Then only I can get my shadow in this whiteboard. So here, this is not same resembles in the activity of projection. There the system is somewhat different, but the concept is like that only. I am having the vision on the object. So on crossing the object, the visual rays or the rays of sight will obtained in the flat surface. So that rays of sight will give the image of the object, not the shadow of the object. This is the difference, main difference between the real shadow system and the projection system. Instead of getting the shadow in the flat surface, I am going to obtain the image of the object which is obtained by the rays of sight. See here. If a flat surface is there and an object is maintained in this way, if you are projecting the rays of sight, then this rays of sight will cross the object and they will give you the image of the object in the flat surface. Just like the shadow, not the shadow, just like the shadow. In the shadow, you are not able to see the features which are all produced in this surface. Simply the portion of blackish range only available in the case of shadow. But in the case of projection, you can see the features obtained in that surface of the object in this screen. This is nothing but projecting an object. We are obtaining the view of the object, just taking a photograph of the object and paste it in the screen by seeing the object from this side. So here, these rays of sight, once they cross the object, they will call us the projectors. If these projectors are parallel to each other, and perpendicular to the plane where you need to get the image. Okay, the plane is nothing but the flat plane is nothing but where you want to have the image. If the projector lines perpendicular to the flat surface and parallel to each other, then this system of projection is called as orthographic projection. Excuse me, it's first angle projection or third angle projection. Okay, and if these projectors are not parallel to each other, and perpendicular to the flat surface, and they are in the way of convergement. See, in this way, if they are converged, these projectors are not parallel to each other and not inclined perpendicular to the flat surface, and they are converged manner, then this type of system of projection is called as perspective projection. And if the projectors are parallel to each other and not perpendicular to the plane in which they are going to prepare the image, then this type of projection of system is called as oblique. That is, the flat surface is there where you are going to place the image of the object, and the projectors are falls on the flat surface in this way. These projectors are purely parallel to each other and they are not perpendicular to the surface. In this type of system of projection is called as oblique projection. Okay, this is nothing but just an intro about what is the activity of projection. We are going to get the image of the object in a flat surface, whatever it may be the dimension of the object, whether it is a 2D object or the 3D object. In a surface, we can get a flat image. So that flat image sometimes may have the 3D feature. In the case of pictorial projections, in the isometric and the perspective, in case of pictorial projections, we are going to get the 3D image of the object in the 2D paper. So that's different. We can see the 3D features of the object. But the system of projection here can be classified in under these three classifications. Okay. Let me do above the code. And in fact, now what we are going to do is, in the second unit, we are going to deal with the orthographic projection concept. That is, our projectors and visible rays are parallel to each other. In the meantime, they are perpendicular to the plane of projection. And just to keep it in mind. Okay. Before that, in the very first class of our subject, in the very first class, I introduced about the two principal planes. That is the horizontal plane and vertical plane. I think most of you have remembered that. Horizontal plane and vertical plane. These two planes are called as the principal planes, the very primary planes. In general, in physically, they are not exist anywhere. These two are the imaginary planes only. And in order to develop the views, orthographic views of the object in this system of projection, we are assuming these two planes. Whatever the object we are going to draw, we are going to imagine the particular object in between these two planes. Okay, and if you want to see the visual appearance of these two planes, see the vertical plane, as the name implies, it's vertical, and the horizontal plane is nothing but, as the name implies, it's horizontal. Just like the floor in the room and side wall in the room. And these two principal planes are perpendicular to each other, purely perpendicular to each other. This is nothing but the vertical plane. Let me to abbreviate it with VP. Okay, and that one is horizontal plane. That one is horizontal plane. These two are purely perpendicular to each other. And the line which is obtained by the intersection of these two planes is called as reference line. Reference line, which is the line obtained by the intersection of these two planes is called as reference line. And these two planes are not just limited in this range, just behind the vertical plane also, the horizontal plane is extended. The horizontal plane is extended. And just below the horizontal plane also, the vertical plane is extended. These two are endless planes. There is no dimension, specific definite dimension is given for the width and breadth of the horizontal plane and vertical plane. These two are endless range. Okay, and here, this is the region or this is the place where the space obtained just above the horizontal plane and in front of the vertical plane. In front of the vertical plane. And that space can be addressed by the term the place where just above the horizontal plane and behind the vertical plane. Okay, above the horizontal plane and behind the vertical plane. And that space can be addressed as below the horizontal plane and behind the vertical plane. Below the horizontal plane and behind the vertical plane. And here, finally, that space can be addressed as below the horizontal plane and in front of the vertical plane. So I am repeating that space above horizontal plane in front of vertical plane. This region, the space, the empty space. That empty space, let me to log off the confusing things. Above horizontal plane, behind vertical plane. Okay, behind vertical plane. Here, below horizontal plane and behind vertical plane. And finally, the below horizontal plane and in front of vertical plane. So just by considering the position with respect to the horizontal plane and the vertical plane, I named the regions. So this region above HP in front of VP region may be considered further as first quadrant. First quadrant. And that above HP behind VP region addressed as second quadrant. And here below HP behind VP may be noted as third quadrant and below HP in front of VP as fourth quadrant. Fourth quadrant. In this way, we can give Excuse me. My advance apologies to maybe during the class my phone may be ring. Okay, for some important phone call, I'm just switch off the vibration. So sorry for that. I will cut the call. So sure. So region one as first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and finally fourth quadrant. Why we are taking in consideration about these four quadrants? In order to place the object and in order to project them for drawing their views. Okay. For all these quadrants, we are going to solve the problems. From first quadrant, we can start. The horizontal plane and vertical plane. So that space is nothing but simply by seeing that you can identify which quadrant is obtained now. It's nothing but the first quadrant above horizontal plane in front of vertical plane. If an object is placed in this space, you can draw its front view and top view. And this orthographic projection is simply called as the part what we are going to do is multi-view projection. So in orthographic projection, as in the previous minute, I told you that two categories are the isometric projection, that is axonometric projection, and first angle and third angle projection. The first angle and third angle projection concepts are coming under the category multi-view projection. Why it is called as multi-view projection? Because in order to show the object, in order to complete the projections of the object by this method, at least you need to draw two views of the object. That is front view and top view. So you need to draw minimum two views of the object. And side views also available. Left side view and right side views also available. Presently we are going to concentrate only on the front view and top view of the object. So here, what are the objects? For example, here I am going to place a cylinder. I just place a cylinder on the horizontal plane. The cylinder is simply sitting on the horizontal plane. If you suppose to draw the views of this cylinder, if you ask to draw that is a cylinder of this much dimension is stands on the horizontal plane and it is located this much distance from the vertical plane, that is in front of the vertical plane. Now you need to draw the views of the orthographic views of the cylinder. This may be the question. So for that question, what will be your answer is you should draw the front view and the top view. If side view is asked, you need to draw. Otherwise, you can start with front view and top view. Right. What is front view and what is top view? As the name implies, always the observer is going to stand here in front of the vertical plane only. The observer is always going to stand. By standing in this direction, the observer is going to see the object. And keep one condition in mind, the rays of sight of the observer should be parallel to each other and should be perpendicular to the flat surface on where we are going to develop the image. For example, now I am going to prepare the front view of the object. For that, you should stand in front of the vertical plane and see the object. If you see the object, the rays of sight will falls on the object in this way, and the vision what you obtained in this will be produced in the screen. Will be produced in the screen. The view will be like that. Am I right? Is it right? What I drawn is right? See, a cylinder is there. I am seeing that cylinder in straight. What I can see? I can see a rectangle only. But I can recognize by my sixth sense knowledge as this is a curved surface just in front of me. It's a curved surface, maybe. But the view, the 2D view obtained when you stand in this direction and see the object is a flat rectangle. A flat rectangle. That rectangle is nothing but the front view of the cylinder. Front view of the cylinder. Okay, and if you suppose to draw the top view of the object, then automatically the observer should come in this way, because front view is the one should be obtained in the vertical plane, and the top view is the one which should be obtained in the horizontal plane. In order to get the view in the horizontal plane, the primary condition is your rays of sight should be perpendicular to the horizontal plane, right or not? In the front view case, your visual rays or rays of sight are perpendicular to the vertical plane. Now we are processing for the horizontal top view. So the top view should be obtained in the horizontal plane. So your rays of sight should be perpendicular to the horizontal plane. When your rays of sight will become perpendicular to the horizontal plane, whenever you are positioned here, then only your rays of sight will be perpendicular to the horizontal plane. If you see the object in this direction, what you can see in the object? That surface. That surface. So here, what will be obtained? A circle. A circle. So that circle is nothing but the top view of the object. The top view of the object. Actually, the object is a cylinder, but the front view obtained is a rectangle, and the top view obtained is a circle. And this is a common fact for all the object when you process for the front and top view of the object and the orthographic projection concept. Okay, so this is what you are going to draw in the paper. You are not going to draw the cylinder. You are going to draw the front and top views of the cylinder. The front view will be the rectangle and top view will be the circle. So don't fix your mind that always the front view of the front view of the cylinder is a rectangle and the top view of the cylinder is a circle. If the cylinder is located in this way, then what you will get in the front view? In the front view you will get a circle. In the top view you will get a rectangle. So there is no fixed type of view you are going to get for a particular object. Based on the location of the object with respect to the vertical plane and horizontal plane, the shape of your front and top views will change, not the size. Because here everything should be true to dimension. If the height of the cylinder is 50 mm, then the height of the rectangular front view obtained is also 50 mm. The dimension should be true. The shape may be different, but the dimension should be true. It should be 50 mm. If the cylinder's diameter is 30 mm, then the circle obtained as top view having the same diameter 30 mm. Okay, keep this point in mind. So this is nothing but first angle projection. Simply we can say it as orthographic projection in our subject. We need not to say it's in very deep manner. Just give an overlay identification only. It's an orthographic projection concept we are going to follow in our contest. And yeah, if the same object is placed instead of in the first quadrant, in the second quadrant, if you place the object, then automatically you are going to process to the above HP and behind VP concept. In that time, we will discuss how the front and top views will be obtained when the object is placed in the second quadrant. Okay. Now, just to have a clear idea about how we are going to get the front and top views of the object when the object is placed in the first quadrant, that is above HP and in front of VP. Whatever it may be object. The object may be a solid, or maybe a straight line, or maybe a plane, or maybe a point. Whatever it may be, the concept of projection is same. Okay. And in this in every problems you are going to have the data regarding the object's personal dimensional features. In addition, the distance of the object within the vertical plane and the horizontal plane. All these details will be given in the problem, and based on that only we can draw the projections of the object, such as the front view and top. Okay. Few more points here. See, with the current example, I need to say some more words. This is what I know about what we discussed now. So we have a cylinder. It's just above the horizontal plane and in front of the vertical plane. This is your horizontal plane and that's your vertical plane. And this is what the front view obtained and that's what the top view obtained. This is object, this is its front view and that is its top view. Okay. And how we are going to draw this front view and a top view in a blank white paper? By using the reference line. So what is the role of reference line only? Here we are going to discuss. For example, let me give a simple problem in that. This is the answer I am giving a problem. A cylinder of diameter 30 mm is placed in the first quadrant. Placed in the first quadrant. Just 10 mm above the horizontal plane. It floats, okay? It floats. Don't worry about the gravity effect. It floats 10 mm above the horizontal plane and forty mm in front of the vertical plane. 40 mm in front of the vertical plane. The cylinder is 60 mm height. The cylinder is 60 mm height. And draw its front and top views. This is what the problem really. So with this answer, I just derivated this question. If in that case, how to draw the front and top view is, first, you need to draw a line which is called reference line. Where that reference line is having part in this graphical representation, here it is. Here it is. This is nothing but our reference line. The line which is obtained by the intersection of the horizontal plane and the vertical plane. In the very beginning of the answer, you should draw the reference line. And that reference line may be mentioned with the alphabets X and Y. Here also I can show you if this end is X and that end is Y. What is the length of the reference line? No limit. There is no constraint on the length of reference line. In your paper, for your convenience, you can have any length of reference line. Maybe it's of 25 centimeter or 30 centimeter or 40 centimeter. But maybe your requirement, you can draw the reference line. So here, first you draw the reference line. Thereafter, generally in this kind of problems, when you process with the projection of solids, what my advice is to draw the object from its base view. In the next unit, I will discuss about these things. But as of now, just simply how to draw, I can give you some local information. First, I need to produce the front view and the top. Okay, the front view is nothing but a rectangle. A rectangle. The rectangle height is 60 mm because the height of the cylinder is 60 mm and the width of the rectangle is 30 mm. Why 30 mm? Because the diameter of the base cylinder is 30 mm. So this width is also 30 mm. This 30-60 rectangle is nothing but your front view, and where to draw this you have to decide whether this is your reference line, whether you need to draw that rectangle above the reference line or below the reference line. Above the reference line or below the reference line. See here, this reference line is there. This is your front view. This is your front view. And in order to have the top view, in the flat manner, one additional job we need to do. What is that? We need to tilt that horizontal plane in this way. In this way. In order to see the full flat view, you need to tilt this horizontal plane about 90 degree in clockwise direction. If you tilt like that, automatically the top view circle will come here. Will come here. So this is nothing but your front view, and that's nothing but your top view. Now you need to draw the front and the top views in your paper. In our paper, we just draw the reference line only. We need to draw this rectangle front view and a circular top view. And first you need to decide where to locate the front view and where to locate the top view with respect to this reference line. This is your reference line. Just say front view and the top view, which is above the XY line and which one is below the XY line. The front view only above the XY line. So this region is going to be occupied by the front view, and the another one region below the XY may be occupied by the top view. And now I am going to draw the top view, which is below the XY line. Below the XY line. The top view is nothing but a circle of diameter 30. Randomly I am choosing a place. Note my point. Randomly I am free to choose a place. Maybe here or there or here. I am drawing a circle. I am going to draw the circle, and just you find out that the circular top view is located below the XY line. And how far below the XY line? Is there is any dimensional constraint is there? See here, this circle is 40 mm. That is, your cylinder is placed 40 mm in front of the vertical plane. So the circle obtained here is again 40 mm in front of the vertical plane. When you tilt this horizontal plane screen in that direction to make this flat, automatically now the distance between the reference line and the circular top view also maintained as 40 mm. 40 mm. So here also you need to maintain a 40 mm distance, and from that distance you can draw your circular top view with 30 mm diameter. After that, from the terminals, you need to draw the projectors. These two lines are called as projectors. And what is the purpose of these projectors is, the projector lines are nothing but the connectors of the front and the top views. Not only the connection purpose, from the projectors we can do lot of jobs in our graphical work. Now, as of now, just its purpose is to connect the front and top view. See here, this is nothing but your front view. The rectangle, 30-60 rectangle. That 30-60 rectangle is to be drawn as a front view here. And you should not select the random place now, like in the previous case. Maybe I just told you that you can draw the circle here or there or here. You need to maintain 40 mm below a reference line constraint only. But you can place it anywhere. But now, once you run the top view and run the projectors, then your front view should be included in that projectors only, consigned with the projectors only. So here only you need to draw. This is 60 mm. At the meantime, the cylinder is 10 mm above the horizontal plane. See here also the rectangle is 10 mm above the horizontal plane. The same 10 mm height empty space you have to provide here, like this 40 mm. So here I am having 10 mm space, and from that point, the width of the rectangle is 30 mm. This 30 mm. Already the circle diameter is 30 mm. So these two projectors will take care of this 30 mm. You need not to measure. By having the projector as boundaries, if you work out, automatically the width will become 30 mm. And the height of the rectangle is 60 mm. So from this part, not from XY, from this part, you should measure 60 mm and complete the drawing of rectangle. So in this way, okay, 60 mm. So in this way, you can draw the front view and the top view of the object by means of the orthographic projection concept. It's a multi-view concept. So in order to draw the view of a single object, you should draw front view, top view. At least two views you need to draw. So this is nothing but a simple example of the orthographic projection concept which is we are going to follow, and we are not going to draw the solids like cylinder and cone in the first second chapter itself. In the second unit, we are going to start with our orthographic projection practice by projection of points only, and then projection of straight lines and projection of planes. In the third unit only, we are going to process it to projection of solids. But the front and top view concept can be easily understood by discussing about the projection of solids. That's why I am discussing it here. From the next class, we are going to work with the projection of points, and then we can learn how to have the front and the top views of your point when it is closed in the space between the horizontal plane and vertical plane. We are going to process with all the quadrants, first, second, third, and fourth. We will see one by one. Okay.